In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the secret ending to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which explains the Isu backstory for the game. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel where we give you the secrets to crush Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There are at least 3 major endings to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There's an ending with Eivor and his or her brother Sigurd. There's the ending where Eivor tracks down every member of the Order of the Ancients. And there's the secret ending where we find out how Basim and the Aesir or Asgard Isu of Odin, Freya, Thor, Tyr, and more avoided the true Ragnarok, end of the world, over 75,000 years prior to the events of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There will be spoilers in this, so if you don't want any story spoilers, then you probably should wait until you completely finish the game, because we are going to talk about some stuff. So to get the secret ending, either Basim or Layla, depending on whether you're playing after Eivor visits Valhalla or before Eivor visits Valhalla, needs to do all the animus anomalies. And there are 10 of those animus anomalies. They're essentially platforming sections that are just very different from the rest of the game. I'm not going to give you the map locations for all of these, but I will mention them. There's one in Hordafelk in Norway. That's the higher region in Norway. There's one in Leicestershire. There's one in East Anglia. There's one in Oxfordshire. There's one in Shropshire in England. There's one in Lincolnshire and Sussex and Yerveshire and Nottinghamshire, and finally Hamptonshire. And I'm going to put a link to the PowerPix article that will show you the map locations of all those so that you can get this ending. And in each one of these platforming sections, this parkour puzzle section, which very time consuming, surprisingly for me, they did not give me any XP. I don't know if that was a glitch or anything, but what you do get is story progression in terms of the Isu storyline. I'm going to discuss the backstory for the Isu of Loki and Odin and the other Asgard Isu that is the core driving force for the whole narrative in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Nevertheless, it's a secret narrative, and you could easily miss it, especially if you skip the Asgard and Jotunheim sections, which is easy to do, and you don't do all the animus anomalies. So at the core of Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the rivalry between Loki and Odin. Odin is actually reincarnated as Eivor, and we will also find that Basim is reincarnated Loki. Loki is like a double agent within the Isu, which is a species superior to humans technologically and physically that died out during the Toba Catastrophe 75,000 years ago. And they were looking for ways to avoid the catastrophe, which was a solar flare catastrophe, which reinserted itself, and you can see that in Valhalla, in 2012, according to the lore of the Assassin's Creed stories. But Loki went between different sections of the Isu nations and indeed had a relationship with a second wife who was not an Asgard Isu, which Odin led. And so the fruits of that relationship were some children, notably Fenrir, who were imprisoned by Odin. And that rivalry between Fenrir, who is represented by a wolf in Norse mythology or in the Asgard arc, and Loki and his Greco-Roman wife, represented by a Jotunheim witch, is still eating at Loki, i.e. Basim, when they are reincarnated in the 9th century in Assassin's Creed Valhalla as part of the Tree of Life Yggdrasil machine. And as you're doing the animus anomalies, you get to hear the conversations between Loki / Basim and his Greco-Roman Isu wife, talking about their rivalry with the Mad One, which is Odin, i.e. Eivor's alter ego, which Eivor leaves in the Tree of Life at the end of the game, but is haunted by the alter ego prior to that. That Eivor is struggling with the consciousness of Odin and lets it go in the Yggdrasil machine in Valhalla, but Basim is 100% Loki. Loki has taken over Basim in a way that Tyr has not fully taken over Sigurd, and Odin fails to take over Eivor. But Odin, Tyr, Sigurd, Thor, Halfdan were one of the few successful Isu who survived the catastrophe through the Tree of Life project, the seventh method of inserting their consciousness into the DNA of some future humans, as was Loki through his treachery, as we'll see in the secret ending, which I will roll very shortly. And then after that, I'm going to allow you to hear the conversations that Basim/Loki has with his wife, Angrboda, who dies prematurely, but her consciousness is transferred into the staff of Hermes, which is used to resuscitate Basim in the present day. And we're left with Loki as the last living Isu in the body of Basim, the last of the extinct master race of the earth. All right, here's the secret ending.
Fragment of an ancient memory. Let it flow. From the life tree we go. To the life tree we shall one day return. None may follow. Loki least of all. It is done. Now, to face our end. You made one on the far side of our doom.
He has taken our son, imprisoned him for invented crimes, and locked him away.
As he said he would, love. Do you not remember his threats?
You should have been more careful. Have we no power to stop him? To save our son? No recourse?
What can we say? And to whom? Must the world know about our children? Must your wife learn of us? Is that a risk you want to take?
I must do something. Anything.
My love, what happened? You are flushed, trembling.
An eye for an eye, a son for a son. For if ours must suffer needlessly to the end of his life, so too will his tormentor.
What? What have you done?
The poor boy collapsed so suddenly, felled by the faintest taste of mistleberry, with his father standing over him, weeping.
Reckless, foolish. Were you seen? Did they know it was you? I have spoken with the mother, the father, the sacred voice. They have assured me their success is imminent. Our people will survive the cataclysm.
Well, 6 times they have tried to save us, 6 times they have failed. Forgive me if I have my doubts.
The mother is working on a 7th. A bold solution. Risky. But she's confident it can work.
And what does the father say? Or the voice? They are strangely silent these days.
Stop!
Dear love, you're injured. Now, let me see.
No. No more, please. Let me die. Here. Where all is quiet.
No! This is not your end. There is a way. A piece of Eden. A staff. Attuned to this method of transfer. It may work.
Or I may end up like the outcast's husband. A beating heart without a mind. Do what you must. I see no other way.
Listen, love. And let the current flow. Let it...
This is dangerous. It may not work.
Until we have the serum. And this is all we can manage.
Will you not ask the Mad One for me? Ask him for the serum. Beg him for it.
He would not listen. And I would sooner see our word obliterated before I gave that man a view of me on my knees. And tell me you live.
I live. If this is living, a mind without a body.
And do you feel?
I feel myself. My sense of being. Nothing more, nothing less. No pain or joy or passage of time.
And yet you are with me, and I with you. And together we will endure. My love, the time is now. The cataclysm is upon us. The Mad One has gathered his trusted 8 to his secret hall.
Remember the calculations. You must act with precision. Every small step must be accounted for.
I'll remember. They are burned into my brain.
How long till your rebirth?
A long time, love. You must wait in your endless present, and I will sail the black sea of non-being. But if all goes well, I'll find you again. On the far side of our doom. We'll be together. Again.
You with me.
I'm with you.
It worked perfectly, my dear.
Is the Mad One here?
No, my love. Only we remain.
And Layla?
The air of memories fulfilled her role perfectly. Now then, a new world awaits. It's
It's a nice place to die, Eivor. Not everyone gets to choose. You bested me. I don't know how, but you did. Yet, I'm the one left standing. And now, I can take from you anything I want. Your memories, your skills, your secrets. They're all mine. And when I have them, I will put them to good use. To find my children. And bring my family back together.
There were 8 Isu uploaded into the Tree of Life. We know that Freya and Odin were returned to the Tree of Life. And we believe that Halfdan, Thor, and Tyr, who is Sigurd, did not return. So that leaves up to 6 other Isu that are potentially in the Yggdrasil machine and the Tree of Life that could return in future incarnations of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Subscribe to the Linus Wilson channel where we give you the secrets to crush Assassin's Creed Valhalla.